All right, Jeff Zimmerman here with the two-time world champion Regis Prograis. He's got some things in the works. We're going to find out what's going on with him. Just saw him this last weekend in Fort
Yeah,
Worth for Virgil and Erickson Lubin. How you doing, Regis?
I'm all good, man. Real good. Matter of fact, real good.
Yeah, man, it was good to see you. Good to talk to you for a couple minutes. Man, you were swarmed out there.
Right. Yeah. They swarm me. The people swarm me. It's good, man. Texas is a good it's just a good fight area basically a good fight state, and Texas is real good for it's just a lot of fans. Obviously the Hispanics, a lot of Hispanics here, but every time I go to fights in Texas it's like that. The next big one I'm going to is the Oshaki Foster in San Antonio. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that'll actually be even more people. Every time I go somewhere travel in Texas, it's always a lot of love.
Yeah. The love was definitely there for you, man. It was right in front of the media section.
Yeah.
It was the perfect spot actually because all you guys kept walking through, Tio, everybody. It was like, yeah,
Right.
it's great. Um,
Mhm.
but listen, before we get going on what you have, and just there's so much going on around your weight and so forth. But breaking news, it's not official, I don't think, but Mike Coppinger from the ring, Jake Paul versus AJ as a replacement for Tank in December in Miami. Your face says it all.
AJ and Joshua.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy, man. Damn, really?
Heavyweight fight. I looked it up right before this, right before just to make sure. Um, Initial thought.
That's shocking. I didn't think Jake Paul would. I didn't think somebody like Jake Paul would take a fight like that. That's a dangerous fight. That's a really, really dangerous fight for somebody like Jake Paul. Andy Joshua is obviously he's at the other stage of his career. He's not the champion he once was, but he's still a big puncher. He's still a big guy, 6'6", something like that,
Yeah.
solid muscle. I mean, he can punch. I think that's a dangerous fight for Jake Paul. For the first thing I would say, man, hats off to Jake Paul for taking that fight. I didn't. A lot of people don't take Jake Paul as a serious fighter, but for taking a fight like that, I mean, he's really trying to prove something. I mean, I think if he can, I mean, I don't. For me, I'm not gonna. I don't give him a chance at all against Joshua. So if he can just last, I would give him, man. If because he lost to Tommy Fury. That's not
Right.
nowhere close to Andy Joshua. So yeah, Andy Joshua. He is on the other end of his career, but at the same time, he's still Andy Joshua. Don't matter. He still was a two-time champion. So yeah, man, that's a dangerous fight for Jake Paul. Really dangerous. Hats off to Jake Paul for even taking that fight.
Yeah, and I tried to see if it had the word exhibition next to it, but I didn't see it at this time because I think
Right.
Tank was going to be an exhibition if I
Okay.
recall.
Yeah. Right.
So
Right. Right.
does it make a difference? I don't know, but you're still getting in the ring with former
And
heavyweight
Josh.
champion.
Yeah, former heavyweight champion. That's a dangerous fight. Like shout out to Jake Paul for even taking a fight like that, but that's a very, very dangerous fight for Jake Paul.
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, Anthony, sure, he's on the tail end, but he's still one of the top heavyweights in the world.
He still is top. Yeah, he might be like top 15, top 20. I won't say top 10, but he's still up there top. I mean, he's a former champion also, and he's a really, really big dude, has a lot of power, so like I said, that's a dangerous fight for Jake Paul, man. Real dangerous.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I just saw it, so I had to get your reaction. But listen, so we both were in Fort Worth the other night. Virgil Ortiz, man, this was a fight. The people that I spoke to, and I talked to Tim Bradley the other day, but the people I spoke to during the fight, leading up to it in Fort Worth, everyone thought it was going to be a great fight. I mean, I talked to Erickson a few times. His mentality, he seemed ready to go, man. Like, and most picked Virgil to win, however, but not like that. I mean,
Right.
what did you think?
Virgil ran through him, man. I mean, Virgil just it feel like right now he's just on a, he's young, he's up and coming, he's just on that high right now. He's look like he's unstoppable. I mean, of course, obviously nobody's unstoppable, but it's right now he's look like it's hard to get in front of him. He's running through people. I train. The thing is, so my one of my trainers he trains Erickson. And I was in Vegas. I saw him sparring, and he was looking good. I thought that for me, I definitely thought that he was gonna do better than that. But I didn't expect that. I didn't expect second round to get him out like that. I just don't know. But at the same time, I just feel like, and I saw Andre Wall say it too. Like I think Lubin just his punch, he doesn't have punch resistance no more. It's just not there no more. Like he just it's like the first big shot he got caught with, that was it. He put his lights out. So um he might need to, just like Andre Wall said, he might need to, consider, hanging up the gloves, because it's just the punch resistance is not there no more. But still, shout out to Virgil. Virgil, he went out there, did what he was supposed to do, and he looked good doing it. So yeah, he's on fire right now.
Yeah, and I didn't hear a lot of this at first, but I noticed it on the big screen watching it. I mean, Lubin was out on his feet.
Yeah, he was out. Yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
he was out.
yeah, because some
I
people
think when
said,
Virgil he pulled his gloves down and hit him, then he was just out. He was out on his feet for sure.
yeah, yeah, and kudos to the ref jumping in there right away, and Robert Garcia bringing a stool and as fast as he could, and instead of
Hmm.
celebrating. But yeah, so that leads me to my next question, though. Boots got in the ring. The build up. I mean, the face off was lasted longer than the fight, right?
Right. Exactly. It did. It really did for
Yeah,
sure.
and it was great, right? But what do you if that fight were to be next, and there's a whole lot of politicking going on, even even at the post fight presser, but
Mhm.
who do you like in that fight?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. So I said at first I said Virgil. At Saturday night I said Virgil because I was on the hype about Virgil. He just won. But at the same time, I think that's a I'm not gonna say 50-50. Of course, that's cliche, but I think that both of its styles always make fights, right? But I feel like both of their styles could beat each other. Virgil style could beat, Boots, and Boots style could beat Virgil. So it all depends on who can really exert their will more than anything else. Boots does have good feet. He has good time, he has good speed, he has good reflex, and Boots has a good chin. Virgil is just running through everybody right now. So it'll be interesting to see if Virgil actually could penetrate Boots and hurt him. And yeah, it'll just and see if, like, with Boots, if he can really like move around Virgil, and if he can hurt Virgil also. So you just right now, you just kind of never know with that. But for me, I of course on Saturday night I say Virgil because what he did Lubin. But Boots is not Lubin. Boots is Boots. He's really really good. So I can't really say who's gonna win. But one thing I feel like I can say for sure, that fight is not gonna happen next. I don't think it's happening next. That's is just how boxing plays out all the time. They want to marinate things and make it bigger. And I mean, even if we want to see it next, I would like to see it, but I wouldn't want to see it next either. I'd rather let it wait a little bit. I mean, both of them are young. Both you could build both of them up. I don't see either one of those guys losing anytime soon. So maybe two fights, something like that. You probably can build it up. But if they fight next. I don't know. I mean, maybe, and I think both of them are still maybe they entering into their prime. They're not even in their prime yet. Both of them not in their prime. So I think that, like I say, maybe give them 2 or 3 fights each, and then maybe fight them, and then they can be even bigger. It'll be an even bigger fight. So we'll see how that happens.
Well, I know you've been at this game in the pros for 13 years, so you obviously know the business side. You even have that promoter hat on when the
Right.
time comes. But it's interesting you make that statement because Tim Bradley said the same thing, that as a fan he would love to see it next, but from the business side, he doesn't see it happening.
No, it's not. It won't happen. Yeah, just make it bigger. Why not make it bigger? I'm pretty sure Oscar knows Virgil isn't losing anytime soon. And Eddie knows that Boots isn't losing anytime soon. So it's like, why? Just make it bigger. Make it a bigger fight. Squeeze more money out of both of them as much as you can. And let both of those guys make money. Because yeah, you have to think. All right, if they do fight right now, one of them loses, and then it brings the stock down. Instead of let them fight 2 or 3 more times, and then it brings the stock even higher, and it can be an even bigger fight. So that's so for me. If I was, yeah, as a fan, you want to see it now, but I I'd rather let it build up more.
But not to kill the lead, I could have let off with this question, but we got Brian Norman Jr.
Mm.
Versus Devin Haney, which
Right.
I've been saying might become the super fight no one predicted. I mean, who knows how that fight's going to go, but you shared the ring with Devin. How do you see this fight going?
Man, I got Devin, and maybe maybe I'm tripping about it. Everybody like, what you got Devin? I'm like, cause you gotta look at man resumes. You know, resumes do matter in boxing. The level of competition. Devin did fight the better people. Brian Norman does have, he has a lot of power. And it seems like he has good footwork too. But I still, man, I got Devin just because he's a better boxer. It's not fighting, it is boxing, and I feel like man, like Devin is a better boxer. He's really fast on his feet. He has quick punches. He doesn't have a lot of power, but he does have quick punches. So and another thing, Devin doesn't care about people booing. He doesn't care about how it's gonna look. He'll win, whatever it takes. So he can just run around like his last fight with Ramirez. He just, he ran around the ring for 12 rounds, basically, and it wasn't too much action done, but he just did that. So for me, I would pick Devin. But I told people, even people asked me this when I was in Dallas. They said, man, like, and I tell them, oh, who they kept calling me. So you can hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
All right, somebody's calling my bad. So, anyways, um, yeah, there was accident, but I always say, man, look, I'm always wrong. My predictions are always wrong. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, most time I predict something, it'll be wrong. So but for me, I picked Devin for this fight. I think that Devin, I think and Devin really believes in himself too. That's the thing. But Brian Norman believes in himself also. Like when you really believe in yourself, you know you're gonna win. Not like think you're gonna win. When you know you're gonna win, it is kind of, it'll tell something.
Yeah, and it feels a little bit of a throwback fight. Both guys kind of have that throwback mentality. And I know you, out of all the fighters out there, is a historian of the game. So
Yeah.
you had to have noticed the war hat that Brian Norman's been wearing, which
Of course.
Hagler,
Marvin
right?
Hagler. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I even asked Tim Bradley this. It kind of, I don't know if he compared to a Sugar Ray Hagler. Obviously, they're not at that elite, legendary
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
status or
Right, right,
Sugar
right.
Ray and Hearns, but stylistically, I almost feel like it has a little bit of that flavor. I don't know.
Like a Ray Leonard and Hagler, right?
Yeah, perhaps, perhaps,
Yeah, I see.
or Hitman and Ray.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, like Hitman and Ray, like on the smaller scale, basically.
Yeah, I mean, Devin's obviously more the boxer.
Hmm.
But like you guys always say, the punches that hurt are the ones you don't see. So does Devin have enough power to keep Brian Norman off of him, in your opinion?
I don't. I don't think so. I'm not gonna lie. I fought Devin, and I don't be wanting to sound bad, nothing like that. But Devin really don't have that much power. Now he's going to throw one foot. His body's strong. Don't get me wrong. His body's strong. His punches aren't that strong, but his body is. His body. He's physically strong. Basically. But sometimes you could be like that, but you don't have that much punching power. Um, but you're right, man. Sometimes it's the punches that you don't see, and I mean, maybe he could catch him with something, but I don't see him. I don't see him knocking him out. I definitely don't see him knocking him out because the thing is with Devin, like he's not gonna go for it. Even if he gets you hurt, he's not gonna go for the knockout. He's more. He's way more cautious than anything else.
Yeah, yeah. But you got Devin by decision, it sounds like.
I got Devin by decision. I think, yeah, I will have Devin by decision.
Okay, okay. Hope it's a good fight. I mean, like I said, it was a fight nobody was really looking for, but it's intriguing nonetheless.
It's definitely intriguing. I think what it's in like 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, the 22nd, I think. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Right before Thanksgiving. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen. I think that is Devin is excuse me, everybody talking about his confidence and stuff like that from the Ryan fight. With Ramirez, he kind of ran around and people saying, I think Tim Bradley was saying he's shocked. He's punch shy. Um. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this fight. It
Good.
is a dangerous fight though.
Yeah, truly, truly. And credit to both guys. And Devin going up against the guy who is probably the biggest puncher, but he has a belt and Devin wants to, he's a legacy guy. So
Right.
got to respect it. Both guys.